My name's Jacob Vernick. I'm a sales engineer here at NewBlue, and welcome to Discover Captivate, a brand new webinar series from NewBlue. We're going to dive in right now, and we're going to talk Captivate. So I've got a project here today, very basic, kind of all over the place because we're talking about so many different things. But the number one thing that we are going to talk about is going to be, I'm going to be talking about is a spreadsheet and how to use the spreadsheets to your advantage to automate specific workflows. So what does that mean to me? Today, well, we're going to be talking about how would I build out a stock graphic, right? I want to be able to take live stock data. I want to be able to import into Google Sheet, and maybe I want to change the color depending on specific information that's coming in, right? We've all seen these kind of graphics before, right? So if I click right here on play, get this graphic going, you can see if the change percentage is positive, this text is going to be green. We're just kind of auto playing through a different graphic every 5 seconds, or excuse me, a different place. And you'll see when we hit this Tesla stock, it's going to change to red. So this is how the goal of this, my little segment, how can we use data to automate specific workflows, right? So I'm going to pull up my Google Sheet right here. Is this sharing or no? You're not seeing my Google Sheet, are you?
No.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I'm sharing the wrong thing. Alrighty. Share, I could desktop. There we go. All right. So now I'm sharing this, and this is our Google Sheet. So you can see right here, I've got the stock name, the stock price, the change percentage, and then the specific color. So one thing that I learned about Google Sheets, I love this so much. They have their own formula that gives you the stock price of any, of any publicly traded company. All you have to do is type in equals Google Finance. You can see that right there, equals Google Finance. Put it in with the value. So it's pulling from A2, so it's Apple, and then type in price. And now it gives me the price. It updates as much as I want it. Come over here, change percentage. And then what I'm doing, well, I want it to show red in Captivate if it's a negative value, and I want it to show green in Captivate if it's a positive value. Now, you can even see right there, it just changed right in front of all our eyes. All those stocks just got updated. So I'm using if-else statements in Captivate, in the Google Sheet to power Captivate. So I am saying if the terms meet specific conditions, right? If C2, the change percentage, is less than 0, I want the color to be red because it's negative. If it's more than 0, I want it to be green because it's positive. And that is how we're powering this graphic right here in Captivate. It is saying, hey, I know what these numbers are. We're linking all this data up in our preview window. So if I get our preview window open over here, you can see in the link data over here. Let me just move this out of the way. We've got our change percentage, our stock name, our stock price, and our color all hooked up to the correct spot so that we can automate all of the graphic that we want outside of Captivate, and then use that information that we're using all these additional tools to do to build out the workflow that we want. Last thing I'm going to show, I may have talked about this before or not, and I'm not sure if you're noticing this in the program monitor, but you can see that this green bracket over here on the left-hand side is actually moving, contracting, expanding. You can see it right there as a great example as to how much text is in that field, right? And that is another thing I'm just going to highlight quickly as one of my favorite little things is just the resize function and the object following in Captivate. So I'm going to go into the title designer and I'm going to click on this left bracket right here. And if I go over down to motion and data and I scroll down to the bottom right here, what I'm telling this little guy right here to do is I want it in the object following. I'm saying, hey, I want this left bracket to move. I could also say resize. I want it to move left based off of what's happening with a different layer. So you say, hey, this is the layer that's going to expand and contract, and I want this one to do something in response. I want this object to follow whatever that one is doing. So that is how the left graphic is expanding. The left bracket is going to move to the left for a longer text and contract into the right for some shorter text. So I covered a couple things in this one. Object following, we talked about a little bit of data stuff, how you can automate your data outside of Captivate to build the specific workflows that you want.